I wasn't even going to talk about this, but Ubisoft is just a bull in a china shop at this point. They are free falling into their grave. Insider claims Ubisoft is in acquisition talks after sudden trading suspension. Well, here we are. This is the 11th hour of Ubisoft's life, I guess, before it's probably bought out by either Tencent or probably Sony. Either Tencent or Sony. There's a wild rumor going around online right now, and it's pretty disturbing if it turns out to be true. Disturbing? The company didn't give a detailed reason for the halt, but it did request that Euronext suspend both share and bond trading starting November 14th. In a short press statement, Ubisoft simply said it would inform the market of the date on which trading will restart, and promised that the delayed financial results would be released in the coming days. Okay. Well, nobody knows for sure why Ubisoft took such an unusual step. The move immediately raised eyebrows. Realistically, it could be linked to several ongoing issues, from Ubisoft's staggering 95% share drop over the last 5 years. I didn't know it was that steep of a drop of shares, to underperforming game releases, AC Shadows, and internal restructuring. However, in fact, Assassin's Creed Mirage, too, and their Prince of Persia game. What have they been... Oh, hold on. The Crew Motorfest. Didn't they get taken offline? Assassin's Creed Mirage. It was whatever. Just Dance. Don't care. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. Forgettable. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. Apparently it was a decent Metroidvania, but also forgettable. Skull and Bones. Quadruple A game. X Defiant. Didn't this game also get shut down? Was a free-to-play. The Rogue Prince of Persia. They already released this game? Star Wars Outlaws. Bad. The game was not good. Assassin's Creed Shadows. The big stinker itself. Tom Clancy's The Division Resurgence. Mobile game. Beyond Good and Evil 2. Forever Development Hell. Might and Magic Fates. And mobile game. Oh, there's so many. Okay, all of these are just mobile games. Ubisoft has been doing nothing but mobile gaming. Free-to-play games. And any of the single-player games that they've been releasing have been not good. Either through the writing, for very clear reasons, I'll let you make your own discernment on why, or the gameplay sucks. Okay, whatever, sure, great, fantastic, great job, Ubisoft. However, despite all these logical explanations, the internet has gone in a completely different direction, pushing a fresh wave of rumors that suggest something far bigger is happening behind the scenes. According to new chatter across social media, some fans and insiders believe Ubisoft might be preparing for a buyout. The rumor gained traction after an insider, Detective Seeds, claimed that a Ubisoft employee privately mentioned a serious M&A discussion to close on assets. According to his post, the employee said a potential buyer, notably not based in the United States, has already been visiting Ubisoft studios to look at ongoing projects. Well, they're going to be looking at nothing but mobile games and bad single-player experiences and free live service games. Jeez. Okay. Then there's Omar Alamodi, known for teasing industry moves in advance. He posted an odd image combining Activision Blizzard, EA, and Ubisoft, suggesting a future where major third-party publishers get swallowed by larger companies. That's already been happening, though. Everything is being consolidated to only a few major companies. The post exploded into full-blown speculation before MLD pushed back, saying people were reading way too deeply into a simple discussion. Still, the two names that keep popping up are Tencent and Sony. Thank you. Tencent already owns a 25% stake in a new Ubisoft subsidiary. It's probably going to be Tencent. Everybody saw it coming anyways. This is just the final acquisition created by the Guillemot family. That history makes Tencent the more likely candidate if acquisition talks are indeed happening. Sony's mentioned too, but with far less evidence. Okay. Some are also speculating about an acquisition by Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, PIF, which has been making big moves in the gaming industry, with a recent example being Electronic Arts. Yes, they're also putting money into Assassin's Creed Mirage DLC, and Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot hinted at even bigger plans for the region, saying at the NGSC 2025 event in Riyadh in August. Of course, Ubisoft itself has not confirmed anything. Until Ubisoft releases its financial results or makes a formal announcement, everything floating around is still rumor territory. So you might ask, Zero, why are you talking about a rumor? With the way how Ubisoft has been going, I don't see anything but them losing all of their shares happening in the next year or two. I think even sooner than a year, because Ubisoft postpones its quarterly financial report at the last minute and halts stock trading. This happened back on the 13th, or around the 13th, 12th. This is off of PC Gamer. I'm not going to really go into this. This is just, this happened about a week and a half ago now. Just minutes before it was set to deliver its financial results for the first half of the 2025-26 fiscal year, Ubisoft mashed the brakes on the whole thing, postponing the release of its results to an unspecified future date. The company also requested that European exchange Euronext halt trading of the company's shares and bonds from November 14th until the publication of its results. This is very damning to Ubisoft. They haven't been making games that have been able to give them a profit for years. They lost 95% of their shares over the last 5 years, so it's obvious if they're halting their financial reporting, they are being visited by someone that will be acquiring their company as a whole. But I'm not actually reporting on Ubisoft being sold because of these two news articles. No, what made me want to talk about Ubisoft is this, which actually pissed me off. Staring down the barrel of a rough 2026, Ubisoft's UK arm says we're less interested in one-time purchase games and all about that live service drip feed. Remember last year when they're like, you should be comfortable with not owning the games that you purchase? They don't care about you. They don't care about the consumer at all. I'm not sure about that one, Chief, or at least I can be for $9.99 a month. Ubisoft has decreed that fully priced games you pay for once are no longer sure bets. And by decreed, I mean stated as much in a sales warning offered by its division here in the UK. It's important to note that the arm in question, Ubisoft Limited, is mainly concerned with wholesale publishing and distribution of games rather than development. As spotted by City Am, Ubisoft's given a stormy cloud financial warning that its physical software sales in the UK market are going to see a decline next year, and that it expects a dip in revenue. When was the last time you made a Rayman game? Oh, wait, no, you made Rayman, what was it? Mario and the Sparks of Hope? That wasn't even a Rayman game. It was a Rabbids game. But Rayman himself has not had a game in years. You basically got rid of all of your flagship titles for a very small handful of multiplayer-only games, and the single-player games that you've been making has just been completely washed. No wonder you're thinking, oh, gamers don't care about single-player, they only want live service slop. No, that's not the case. I'm going to pull up another news article in a second here. That's because, as the document states, the traditional full game model of selling a single $50 to $60 a pound, whatever that is, game to a consumer as a one-time purchase continues to become less ubiquitous. Expedition 33. The warning then goes on to peer into its crystal ball and determines that multi-game subscription services, long-running games as a service titles, free-to-play games, and cloud streaming offerings all provide new and attractive ways for consumers to access gaming content. This actually just infuriates me that this is a AAA developer company and they think that they know what the consumer wants, when that is so far from the truth, it's not even funny. Consumers are playing fewer games, playing them for longer, and as a result, outside of a few notable exceptions, many new games are struggling to stand out and achieve the sales they may once have had, whilst the market is more volatile and potential for any specific title is less predictable as a result. Why don't you have an indie games developer? Have an arm of your... How many employees does Ubisoft have right now? I'm sorry? You have 17,000 employees. Well, no wonder you're dying out. You have too many employees. What the heck? Why? Well, great job. Why don't you make a few indie game arms of your entire company and let them make smaller projects to give you constant revenue rather than trying to focus on free-to-play or multiplayer-only live service games that end up closing after a couple of years. You can make smaller games and actually have them be kind of enjoyable. I think that's what they were trying to do with the Prince of Persia games and gauge interest. Well, guess what? Crown Prince was a flop because people were like, you're not playing as the Prince of Persia, you're playing as some rando. And then so they're like, oh, we'll make the other game. We'll make the other Prince of Persia game as a roguelike. Ubisoft has been in deep water, mostly unrelated to consumer tastes recently. Oh, or just make more Rayman games. People have been asking for Rayman for like, what, 10 years? Just make more Rayman games. You'll actually make money. Make it like $20 and people will buy that in droves. There you go. There's your break-even game to give you a pretty decent profit. No, let's just make mobile games. Ubisoft has been in deep water, mostly unrelated to consumer tastes recently. A new creative house spats between Tencent and founding family, the Guillermo. The departure of former Assassin's Creed franchise boss, Mark Alex, I'm just going to read his first name, Cote, Mark Alex Cote, studio closures, and AI snafus, there's trouble in paradise. Of course there is. That's not to say that spending hasn't gone down anywhere. Times are rough, wallets are thin, and we'll all likely be looking toward existing libraries rather than spending money on new games. Yeah, that's true. People are finally going to their backlogs. I'm probably going to talk about that in a later video. Hell, just getting the gear for a new PC is hard enough. Hopping on something free to play where you might only need to shuck out $10 for a battle pass every other month is somewhat more appealing. What happens if the game closes, though? Are they going to do a stop killing games initiative and do a sunset planning for that game that shuts down to give a single player option for it? Or how about custom servers? Player-driven, player-ran custom servers? No? Oh, okay. But are we really calling the shot that live service games are a surer bet? We've got Concord and Suicide Squad uncomfortably dead in the rear view. Sony's rapidly pulling the plug on a bunch of them before they can even get made, and MMOs are getting sent to a nice farm upstate. So, about Ubisoft, we're just going to focus on live service games, mobile games, free-to-play games. This is off of VGC. More players in the UK, US, and Japan still prefer single-player games to multiplayer, survey finds. This is the heart of what I'm talking about. I will probably make a video about this later on, so we're just going to go to some stats, and I'll leave you with this. Ampere Analysis surveyed 34,428 players across 22 markets and found that 58% of players in the UK said they preferred single-player games compared to multiplayer ones. This figure went higher in Japan, where 63% of players said they preferred single-player games. And freaking higher... Oh my gosh. US, 65% of players want single-player games more than multiplayer games. The survey's findings also suggested that preferences of single-player over multiplayer may also come down to age, which I have also kind of realized too. Which is perhaps unsurprising given the popularity of games like Roblox and Minecraft among younger players. So people want, like I just said earlier, well-crafted single-player experiences that could have replayability. That probably is why roguelike and roguelite games are so popular. But it doesn't even have to be a roguelike game. They can just make a story-based 20 to 25 hour long game that has a lot of cool, neat things you can do that might take a spin on an existing game formula that has well-done characters that you love, and a well-done storyline that could have multiple endings to it. That's why indie games and AA games are eating the lunches of AAA developers, and that's why Ubisoft keeps losing, because they are putting their eggs in the wrong baskets, thinking that they're going to make buco bucks, when it's just going to be a band-aid to their underlying problem, that they haven't had a strong basis for games, like close to a decade, I'd say. Let's say a decade. Putting so much effort into live service games with the risk of them shutting down within a year or two makes it to where Ubisoft is just creating vaporware at this point. If the servers are not upkept, if they don't support them anymore, What do they have to fall back on? They're games from the mid 2000s, their mid 2010s, really. But that's it. They don't have anything else. All right. Well, I liked your games, Ubisoft. Can you make it out of this hole? Who knows? Maybe Tencent will buy you out and start to make better games again. Whatever. Let me know what you think in the comments. This is Zero Echo Zenith, signing off. Bye, everybody. EA is next, maybe? Question mark? Frick, I don't know.